the lack of effort. Guys,
The seesaw cannot be like me.
the dating pool of Kampala is shallow because there is a lack of effort. My mistake would be, I think, besides what Josh said, carrying expectations, it would be getting into relationships before you actually heal.
It's the whole time.
And you were,
It's
it's sounded like a no street.
no.
Like I'm a hard guy. What are you saying?
Yeah, exactly. So logic, I would say, and as guys, it's something very common. We are usually very
Logical.
Yeah. 1 + 1 is 2. Like how? It's sometimes with ladies, 1 + 1 is infinite. There's no answer. There's no right answer. For example, if I'm dating a babe and Danny was a best friend,
Deep down, he knows that when they
what
fight,
if that guy gets a chance?
it's over.
Since both of you have dated, what mistakes have you made?
Ooh, that's a that.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to have a very interesting conversation. Dating streets, red flags. What red flags are people seeing in the women who are on the dating streets? What red flags are in the men on the dating streets?
Okay.
Let's get into it.
These shallow streets of dating in Kampala. Hi.
Someone said that the dating streets are
It's a jungle.
Go ahead.
It's Call of
Duty. Yeah, it's Call of Duty.
So
But at night.
what is dating? What does it mean?
I find the definition of dating as diverse as the definition of love. Dating is a season. It's a process. Sometimes it's a verb. Now, it's a season because it's that time when you are romantically pursuing this person. Keyword is romantic. I know there are other times people throw around casual dating. If it is not romantic, you play. Yeah? So it's a season where you're romantically pursuing someone to lead to a goal, to a thing. Either forever or I don't know. But I don't know what forever could be replaced with. That's one, when it's a season. I think it's a process because it's the things that it's a constant thing. So a season is a time. It starts and ends. A process is it's constant. Because even after you quote unquote get the person, you still have to in a way date them.
Yeah, even when you're married.
Even when you're you still have to date those things. So it's a process, and it's a process of getting to know someone better. And you can never learn. I don't think you can never learn another human being.
Because we're dynamic, we keep changing.
Yes, they keep changing. As you change, they change. So I think for me, it's a season, it's a process. Sometimes it's a verb because of a thing you're doing that might be perceived as dating. But generally, dating for me is the keywords are pursuit, romantic pursuit, leading to a thing.
Marriage.
Yes, ideally marriage.
And sometimes you're dating and you're in the relationship alone. You're pursuing someone.
But they're also
They don't want to
pursuing.
be pursued. They're pursuing someone else.
Welcome to dating in Kampala. That is it.
The chest is just the chest.
So, are you being chased? Are you being pursued? Are you dating?
I am dating. I'm currently dating someone. That's what I can say. It's a beautiful relationship. I'm happy. They tell me they're happy. They show me they're happy. And yeah, it's a
How
good
long
one.
have you been dating?
Actively dating is about just past 5 months. Because it's new. Yeah, that's why. You never know. Butterflies. You never know what happens. But it's been about 5 months, but I've known them a bit longer than that. Yeah.
What did you mean by actively dating?
By actively dating, I meant this is when I was like, okay, now listen, lady.
We need to define this.
We need to define what this is. I like you. You've shown me you like me. So what are we? Besides mammals. What are we? What are we besides mammals? Don't tell me things of your children of God. What are we? And what are we doing? So actively dating.
You don't want to be family.
I don't want to be in any zone, brother zone,
Friends
friend zone, Azif zone, health zone. No. Mm-mm. I have to make it clear.
My guys.
My guy is that one. Other guy.
He's my guy. What zone are you?
For me, it's the streets. Yeah.
You're still on the
Hey, there's a clothes over there.
Yeah.
A plot on Single Avenue.
Yeah, definitely. First class, no floor. Yeah, but the truth is really, for me, his direction is really process. For me, it's purpose. I would say it will be purpose. It might not always work. Yeah, sometimes, but when you purposeful in your dating, you still learn.
Everyone comes to teach you something.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're just character development.
So that means, for me,
Mm.
it's not something I do often. Yeah, because that means you're putting in energy, focus, time, investment, intention. You can't. How do people just date? They'll just switch. So with intention, that means you can't just say, I did it first of one month. Then 2 weeks later, I'm already.
I'm jumping to the next one.
To the next one. Then that means I wasn't dating. I was just wasting.
My single girls out there, talk to me nicely. I may share his number.
So,
I vouch for him.
He's on the
He's a good would recommend.
Since both of you have dated, you're dating and you have dated before, what mistakes have you made?
That's a good one.
Tell me dig deep.
Before you tell us this red flag.
Who are we? Who are you? I don't know you.
Some guy doesn't.
If you don't know these guys, then that means you don't follow CDJ. The conversations with Dan and Josh on Instagram, on
YouTube and TikTok.
Yes.
Do you have an Instagram account though? How do you keep
No,
it?
we just kept them separate.
So we use our personal accounts to push the content.
So what's your personal account?
At VDan Odaka.
I can same with Josh.
Cool. Now tell us the mistakes you Dan Odaka and Nsimbi do.
I would
Let him
say
go first.
me mistakes were expectations. Carrying over baggage from your previous experience into the new one. So you don't get a chance
Rebound.
to actually enjoy and pay attention to the person you're actually dating or pursuing or whatever. So you have this expectation of women are like this, or when a woman does this, or also we have a lot of relationship advice these days. Everyone is a pro. Yeah, So then you kind of really not get to experience the process that is supposed to be. So for me, I think that was a mistake, and it's a mistake that had to learn the hard way. Sometimes you regret, like, damn, actually I missed out on someone good.
Babe,
Yeah, because of maybe what the boys told me, or what I've seen, or maybe you think texting too early is bad.
Yet everyone is different. Everyone's different.
Only come and tell you they're not texting.
Yeah.
Yet behind closed doors they're actually texting.
Yes.
Giving you catch-up.
My mistake would be, I think, besides what Josh said, carrying expectations, it would be getting into relationships before you actually heal. Yeah, there was a point when I don't know what it was, but I just wanted to be in a relationship. Like, I wanted to feel, why am I single?
This one.
Like, why am I single? There was that time, like, why am I single? Like, can't I talk to girls? Yes, I can. Do I not have money to spend on them? Yes, I do. What is missing? We go. So the mistake was that not taking enough time to heal and like self-discover what went wrong. Was it me? Was it them? And whoever's fault it was, what did you learn from it? And how did I contribute? So it was that not taking time to learn what happened, how that went down before moving on to the next one. So I get into the next relationship and you have these things already in your mind. You have these expectations, you have these ideas, you have these thoughts about the other person. You forget to look in the mirror and be like,
Are you okay?
are you okay? Are you okay?
Am I bringing
Yeah.
my best self?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, there are relationships where I've not brought my best self. I look back at them, I apologize to people, but honestly, bottom of my heart. For some of them, it wasn't. Yes.
It was you.
For some of it was me. Honestly, honest to God, some of it was me.
Yeah.
And those are things that I had to learn. So that later on in life, the relationships that I'm in, this one, and I had to be like, take some time off and understand yourself. Don't go by what you think you need. Take time to understand who you are and what you actually need before you take it to someone else's daughter.
Yes.
Come and disturb someone's daughter in her peace.
You know
Those things.
And for me, the other thing is knowledge. Yeah, I feel like knowledge.
What kind?
No, like
science, physics.
No, like
Like you get.
don't read.
I come and drop the periodic table for this girl.
Like because you see, you it's learning that the company I kept wasn't the ideal company for purposeful dating. You get? You know, so then that means your character is off. Yeah. In one way, your character. So that means if a lady knows her worth, if a lady knows her value, you're going to miss out on that. The company you're keeping, you know, whereby you have to have, I didn't have role model relations or friends who are actually, doing the thing the right way, you know, taking time, you know, bonding, you know, having activities and all those things. Like learning, you know, it was always just, like the company I kept, because I left home really early. So, you're already in the party life where are you? So I had to learn to switch my life around, switch the company, and then ingest more content that is in that line, because you become better. It's I would say dating is intentional, so that means you have to feed to be intentional. It's not by default that you're caring all the time. No. And sometimes you don't feel like it, but then you still have to care. Sometimes you learn that they may rant to you, but they don't need your solution. Even with your big brain.
I think that's one that I learned really quickly. And nowadays, for all my sisters, my female friends, every time anytime a female comes to me with a problem, the first question I ask is, do you want to be listened to or do you need a solution?
Yeah.
If they say I need a solution, you have my undivided attention and ears. Yeah. If you just want me to listen, you have my ears.
Yeah.
I will listen to you and then I might forget. But I've listened.
Yes.
Yeah, but I've listened.
So I feel like that really was a mistake, especially, you know, when you're dating in your 20s, early 20s, and I would say 20s. Men never dated in the teens. I had no business around that. The life
we didn't have time for that.
I don't know about these new trends, but I had no business. Yeah, but the early 20s, you know, when you look back, you're like, what? Yeah, what was I even telling these people? And now, you know, when you change some of the circles, you have more people, you know, you can see from, you can hear from, but then also, you know, you look at yourself and like, Josh, this is how things are supposed to be done. You might not be, you'll never be perfect.
Yeah.
Guys, there's no
perfection.
There's no checking the box. Yes. Yeah, really. Yeah. So learning that, kind of then really, those are some of the mistakes. So now, if the season where I'm at is whether you're dating or not, ingest more knowledge, be around people.
Do you want to name drop some of the content that you consume?
Yes, definitely. So that's why we are here. Because we watch this stuff. Yeah, not in a bad way, but, you know, I'm glad to have the Kisachis as my friends. I'm glad to, you know, have him as a friend. You know, then also there are, you know, older couples that you can, you know, you can look up to. I would say Paul Guza, and then he says those are people who host webinars, they will talk to you even when you make a mistake. I feel like that those, you have to have those, especially when you stepping into a certain season of life when you're very, very intentional. And the earlier you do it, you avoid a lot of mistakes. Yeah.
And I think that also gives you accountability. Many people are
Yes.
dating without
Yeah.
accountability.
Yeah.
Oh, other mistakes. The other mistake I've made, and this one here cost me a lot: patience, or the lack thereof.
Yeah.
The lack of patience.
Yeah.
Patience is one of life's biggest virtues, and I am short of that. And I've had to learn to be a bit more patient. And it messed me up in a way that I'm dating this person, and if you're not matching the energy,
I'm out.
I'm out. All right, I'm
Is it
out.
going, are you outgoing and extrovert? Are you sanguine?
I don't know what that means.
Sanguine are like the life of the party.
Yes, man. Look at him. He's a very.
I've
He
been-
does the talking.
Yes. Okay. Yes. I easily have conversation with people. I attract good vibes sometimes. He doesn't like coming for my birthdays because there are too many people. Yeah. So you can say I'm a sanguine. So for me, that's the thing: the lack of patience. Where, like, I'm here. Why are you not here with me? Okay. What's up? Like, I'm flying these days. Why aren't you flying with me? So I got to learn later on in life that you need to be patient with other people, but then also be patient with yourself, because the lack of patience wasn't just affecting the relationship with others, but also myself. I was not pacing myself. Remember, I said I didn't let myself heal before I jumped into another. The lack of patience, I was like, nah, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. I'm feeling fine. There's nothing to heal. I'm all right. Yeah. Yes, I did breaking up. I'm good. All right. Let's go. So I learned much later on in life that you need to be patient with yourself and then with other people, because then you get to appreciate the journey as opposed to the destination. Because I think for me, that was it. It was the destination. I'm dating to get to here. We need to get to here. We need to get to here. I forget that there's a process to get there. And usually it's the journey that is fun, that builds the both of you, that makes the destination worth it.
Yeah.
So for me, that was a huge mistake.
Very true. And I think because we are very different, but almost the same. For him, his was patience, mine was logic. Yeah, my mistake was logic.
Tell us.
Given the nature of the work I do, I'm always I look at things and I'm like, to end there.
This relationship
It's not going anywhere. So I switch over.
We are out
way before.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm out. It's something that now I've learned to be, and you get there.
Be patient.
Yeah.
Extend grace.
Yes, and also you'd see most times we forget self. We dump all the blame on the other person. We forget self. You have a role to play.
Yes.
Whether it's small, whether you feel it's big, there's a role. And if there was a crack, it takes two
To mend it. Yeah.
So for me, the logic. So I would always, sometimes I was right, but sometimes they're like,
You overthought.
you overthought things, or you
Yeah.
assumed things, or you did communicate things, or they told you something and you didn't see clarity. So
They were showing you the signs the whole time.
and you were, it sounded like a no street.
Like, I'm a hard to get. What are you saying?
Yeah, exactly. So logic, I would say, and as guys, it's something very common. We are usually very
Logical.
Yeah. 1 + 1 is 2. Like how? It's sometimes with ladies, 1 + 1 is infinite. There's no answer. There's no right answer. So you depending on where you
are.
Okay, today it has been 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, that really. So that means I had to learn to intentionally listen, be present, and not assume, and be clear, but also be take self.
Yeah.
You look back and
How
say,
do I contribute to this?
To this thing. Where am I making the mistake? Where did I make? And also not date try to date with guidance with other people. Don't kukuta.
Date in the corner where I don't want to see.
Yes.
Those things.
Try it helps. Yeah. It helps because You are not the first. There are 8 billion guys. They didn't come by luck.
But you know how you beat that is the mistake that I made that I learned. You guys, it's important to ask God who on earth you're going to date. Trust me. The one time I asked God
Is the one time
is one time I'm happy.
the list changed. I would
Hey,
the script flipped.
the one time I asked God is when everything just everything just
Yeah.
and that was it. So I think the mistake that we make when dating,
We
we don't seek,
involve God.
we don't involve God.
Yeah. The looks, the what?
That-
Yes.
To get like she has to be like this code. This is the list.
And usually the least expected people are the
Others.
ones.
And then you realize
I'm
that
not-
you know what, this is exactly what I was looking for. I was just
But
being blinded
I was
by
just being on the other side.
on the other
of
side.
spectrum.
Yeah, having a blast.
Yeah, for example, for me, when I was dating, I always wanted a tall, dark, and handsome man, which Mark is, but I also wanted like a buff guy, muscles. See my husband? He's a very handsome,
Modo.
slim man.
Modo wara
But
papa.
that's like, excuse me. No,
I like
It's
your
like child, please relax. Over here. Like, please arrive here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. And we continue.
Wow, George.
Since we are in the middle of the street,
Uh-huh.
what red flags do you see, both in the women and the men? So now let's say the dating red flag.
Why do we start with ladies first, or
No,
we just
no,
go
no,
right
let's
here?
just go. I think because most times there are two way. I would say it's not. I think it's not ladies or guys. Okay, it's just the context, but it's just the behavior that is a red flag. Because a lady can be evasive, so can a guy. A guy can be always available to everyone, and so can a lady be.
Yes.
So it's just everyone just has their baggage or red things that they have to work on.
I also feel like red flags are not universal. It depends on the person. Because what is a red flag to me might not be a red flag to someone else. For them, they're like, that is it.
I can swallow that frog.
I can handle.
It's like
handle
that. So I think red flags, it just depends on an individual, really. But since we are listing red flags,
What
a
is that?
red flag to me would be a trait, because it's behavior. Red flags are behavior. So it's a trait that you cannot stand, you cannot tolerate you as a person that someone else has, that you either accept or don't. If you accept it, usually you get burnt. And then you deal with the consequences of getting burnt. If not, you just live and move on with your life. So it's a behavior trait. It's a behavior trait that someone has that you have to ask yourself, am I willing to tolerate this? Yes or no? If I am, deal with the consequences of your actions. Carry that cross all the way to the end. Eat that frog
forever.
However bitter that frog is, yum it.
Forever do us.
If you can't, chill. It's also okay.
Yeah.
We keep saying on our channel, it's okay to say no.
No
one sent you.
No one forced you.
No one sent you to that relationship. So you can say no and chill. It's fine.
Cool. Now, red flags.
For me, I'm a phone call guy. I'm a person who likes replying texts.
You hate texts. You hate replying.
I try.
You don't.
He will see your text.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And reason being, I feel like text, I can't read the emotion. You might tell me you're fine, but when I call, I can tell you are not fine. For me, it's just maybe a habit. And again, as you said, traits, because we're raised by a dad who, if you text, you're joking.
You will swallow your
Yeah, I'm broke on text. Oh, that guy see it at 6 p.m. and you tell you, tomorrow I'm anybody. You had to call him. And when you call him, I would have 500 coins in the corner of my suitcase for that time.
When you need to make the phone call.
Don't beep that man. No, not what you want something. Yes. So for me, it's communication. Yeah. Even though
someone doesn't
communicate, like
they're just ghosting.
Yeah. Even though we are having the dips, communication. Like, yes, we fought. Then I send you good morning. because you're too pissed.
It's not a good morning.
And you send K.
It's not a good
Then
morning.
tell me it's not a good morning.
And then when you send KOGM,
Uh-huh.
general manager, what are you saying?
Ke kabalagala. Hey.
You have a promotion? What? You're celebrating something, general manager. GG. So, nah.
Yeah, you know, so for me,
Clear communication.
yes, clear communication. It's okay to tell me I'm not okay. I need some
I
time.
need some space. I don't want to-
Yes, and that's okay. But not to make it seem like I'm psycho or
Like torture.
yes, it gives off vibes of you're not needed. And
Yeah.
when I'm not needed,
I excuse
Yeah.
myself, yeah.
yeah, that one, because me, I usually also like, which is something I would do, is when I'm dating someone, I tell them, if you meet someone better and you feel
Like you're done with me.
it is okay. I don't have a rope in your neck. Wake out. It is okay. Just tell me, bruv, I'm out. No hard feelings. That
The
is,
feelings will be hard.
it is okay. But no, as in, it's better. They are hard, but
I know.
Mhm.
I know, bro.
You do what
Not
you
a tall, handsome man with muscles. Oh, you are short. Yeah. So for me, it's communication. Like even in the bad times, we still have to have a way to
Communicate.
Yeah, because even when you do get married, you're going to have to communicate. It's not like it's all rosy
Yeah.
all the time. There'll be times when you don't want to talk to your person, but
You have to share the bed with them. Like they're there.
you have to probably pray together, ask
Mhm.
him maybe he wants to eat or whatever.
Yeah. Communication is key. I'd second that. My now this one again is me. The lack of effort. Guys,
The seesaw cannot be like
the dating pool of Kampala is shallow because there is a lack of effort. Okay, next one goes both ways. But because I'm a guy, I'll talk about the lack of effort on the female side. Now, if we're dating, all right, much as I'm courting you, you're also courting me.
It's
I'm checking you out, you're also checking me out.
Mhm.
All right?
That's why when you meet a better guy, it's
Yeah.
okay.
So I'm going to bring my A game. All right? It's just courteous that if you have an interest in me, bring your A game as well. Otherwise, I want to be like,
let the A's
let the A's meet, and then we check it on there, A++, you know? So the lack of effort, and it shows in different ways for different people. My biggest lack of effort is, and this one here is very cliche, but it's true, transport money.
come on.
Transport money. Here's the logic behind why I hate people who transport money. So you could not take the effort to come and see me. What?
When we are meeting, for
Well,
the
like,
date or-
listen, I'll take you out. I'll do all these things for you, but you just can't show up. That's the least you could do. Like the least you could do for anyone is show up. If your friend is going through some hard times, show up. If people are celebrating something, show up. When you're invited for a wedding, all right, show up. That your presence matters, all right. So now, if you're there and the least you could do is show up, and you can't show up, why? And then, so like, what's the point?
Shows it's not something that you're interested in.
Yeah, it shows it's something you're not interested in, because the simplest thing you could do is show up. You can leave the rest to me, all right? If you're bored, yeah, I'll provide the fun, but just show up. Even when Jesus did miracles, he started with something. He didn't multiply air into bread to feed 1,000 chaps. Nah, there was something that was provided.
Let
Okay?
me try to play devil's advocate.
Mhm.
Sometimes the women will not show up because you don't want to seem very available.
But you guys,
Now, here's the thing. This thing about being available, and I think it's.
I don't seem to desperate.
Let me tell you, it's. I honestly think it's a lie that we tell ourselves, especially as young people,
Yes.
that if I do this thing fast, I'm seeming desperate. Listen, if I text you and you don't text me back 3 days in a row, I'm sorry.
it's
Or but you feel you're playing this. It's giving
over.
disrespect. Like, excuse me.
over.
It's over. I've taken the time to speak to you, but also maybe because for me, when I date people, I go 100%. I'm not one of those guys who lives like, oh no, first leave a bit, Nah, if I'm in this, I'm doing this. So if you're not reciprocating that, what are we doing? What are we doing? If, for instance, think about it this way, yeah? If when you go to it's going to seem very transactional, but bear with me. When you go to buy something, all right, you're going to give someone good money, valid legal tender. You expect the thing you're going to get to be of good quality. If it's not of good quality, what happens? You complain. Same thing. All right. Now, in this case, there's no money, but it's just time. I'm giving you my good time.
Effort.
Exactly. What? Reciprocate. The simplest thing you could do is reciprocate. So I find the lack of effort as a really big red flag. If someone cannot reciprocate effort, flag number one.
Okay. Sometimes they're not interested. They're not attracted.
And that's okay.
And which is okay. Which is okay. Which is okay.
You guys,
Which is okay.
now what you guys need to understand
Which is okay.
as men, you guys, for us, it's a game of trial.
Yes. We are built to try and
we are always rejected. It's okay. Like
by the time you reject me, you're not the first person.
Not the first.
I'm not going to die.
And then when I get married, you're not doing
You're not
that
there.
because
Thank you.
okay, yes,
Exactly. So
and that's why we pray. That's why we enrich ourselves to be one better, to be the person that the frog you can swallow.
yes.
So I might not be your frog, and it's okay.
It's okay. Like I think
like-
I think ladies, you just out there. This thing of how will he take it? How will he feel? Yes, I want to be annoyed for one day. I want to be annoyed for one day.
Repeat.
After I go to bed,
If I die, cry or whatever.
we're done.
You
We're done.
repeat.
Like I will have accepted, counted my losses, and moved on.
Yeah.
This things of maybe preserve.
What are you preserving me for a year? What
I'm
are
not
you
ice cream.
preserving?
I'm not cake. You get don't preserve if the vibe is not there. It's cool.
And especially, I would say when you for Euro fans, when you get to a certain either serious, because you see, marriage and dating, we can't say there's a right age for it. Some people get married later, some people get married really young. But when you're intentional, there are certain things you step out of. Because when you say, what if I seem desperate? Your intention about that person usually super exceeds those insecurities. We all have insecurities. And it's what makes it worth it is the worry that it might not. But the fact that it can work out
That should be.
is worth
It's worth the try. It's worth the try. Like, you know what? This is scary, but what if it works out?
And the only way it works
Is if you try. If you try.
So what do you guys think? Like, if you've just met a babe, you're interested in her, maybe you find her cute, why you want to get to know her more? Then you ask her for a phone number and she just easily gives it away. Skawa.
Good. Thank you.
Have like any perception?
No, I don't have. I think the self-awareness from my side is the same way if a babe showed interest and she asks for my number,
You'd give.
I'll give it.
Yeah.
If I'm intentional, I would not
Yes.
lead her on if I'm not.
But also, it speaks to every time when people say that, I usually ask them, what are you not confident about? You've asked someone for their number and they've given you their number. And you're like,
No.
She's giving me her number. What if, excuse me, you asked,
You ask for
she
it.
answered. All right,
That's it. Let's
It's it.
start from there.
move on from there.
Yeah.
All right, and then see where it goes.
And even though she gives you and then she's not interested, it's okay. It's okay. Because things change. And
She might have seen you in the dark.
the light is like,
When you see me in the light, you're like,
what did I know? Yeah, and that's okay. But I would say it wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be a problem.
Nah,
It's not a
nah,
big
nah,
deal.
nah.
It's not a big
Actually,
deal.
I would be grateful. Because I mean, you've saved me
The hustle of looking for
Of-
words, of what,
like
like,
asking a friend of a friend.
or getting really
What?
creative.
Then you start creating excuses of how you got the number. I've done, said, I'm creating so many ways to explain why I have your number. But when you give it to me,
But also, it that home number thing and the person might be desperate is if someone makes it easy, that's a sign that they are direct about their communication. So that's the kind of person who, if they do not want me, they will tell me, or they will legit show me, and I'll hopefully read the signs. But these things of as if like the one problem with dating is that when someone is not sure and they're trying to preserve bad news. You're not Louis Pasteur. This ain't milk. This ain't milk. Okay? Not milk. Say it as it is.
Spin it and
Spin it and we go. Spin it and we go.
mop it.
Yeah. You want to and count your losses and move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's things like that. I have another red flag. This one here. The lack of personality.
Mm-hmm. Tell us.
The lack of personality.
And we are this. Like, I have no personality.
The lack of personality. Like, and guys can back me up on this. Especially those who text. When you're texting someone and they hi, and they keep quiet.
Yeah. That's coming
like
bus park.
Okay, so
Personality.
have a side
work
to
with
you.
me.
Yes, work with me. Like, unless in your day-to-day life,
That's how you.
unless in your day-to-day life, you're just like a donut. Just there. Just there. Because donuts is just there. All right? Unless that's how you win your personal life. Like, if you have some interest, if you like, come on, guy, yeah, have some personality. Have some life in you.
That's why if you don't like the donut you're speaking, do you tell it then? Go away.
Like, and for you, that's, again, you went back to my not patient days where if I say, hey, how are you doing? How did you sleep? Okay? And you're like, fine. And then I do what with it.
Fine. You or how you sleep.
Yes.
And then we do what with it.
Yeah.
Like, have a personality, have a thing about you that is unique. I find that, again, my experience, people, I find that so many females, ladies out there, do not have a personality outside things like the way they look, or the way they dress, or the work they do, or their friends.
Hey, boys.
So you need to be
Pay
someone.
attention to what you look like, what you're wearing, like.
Yes. Like, if you have no character, what's the point? If I could meet you and you're dressed in the most elegant outfit, your makeup is on point. Even if you don't have makeup, you just look naturally stunning, but you can't have a conversation. Why are you like this? Why are you like this? So I find the lack of character, the lack of personality a problem because it makes it difficult to relate. We're dating because I need to understand who you are. I need to know that you and I are on the same page. But if you have no personality, how can we have those conversations? And then I'm one of those people who, everyone that knows me knows I'm loud, I'm goofy. I can be serious. I can definitely be serious. But most of the times I'm looking at the human life. Yeah? I like to have a good time. So and that's who I am. I will never hide it. Even on the first date, I'm not one of these people who will pretend. Listen, when I go on the first date, I order chicken and I eat it with my hands.
Come on. I have a friend.
I'm that kind of guy.
My friend, I won't say her name. On their first date, she ate her chicken.
Yes.
She's like, no, the
guy was being
now her husband.
Yeah.
Then he was just pursuing her.
Mm-hmm.
He had eaten, I think, with a Coke and knife. She's like, are you still eating? Are you done with the chicken? Cool.
Exactly. Like, the thing is,
Yeah.
which is good. Now, the thing is, have a personality such that outside what we see, there's a human being outside the person that we see. That way, dating becomes more interesting.
Yeah.
I'm able to do things that create a good dating experience because I know who you are a bit better than just things that I see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also when I would say, now this is from my personal perspective, a guy to a lady, not, is when I realized that I can work on myself. It meant that I was more intentional about the other person. So if I learned what I like and how much I enjoy it, then how awesome it is to make the other person enjoy the experience. So you're interested in what they like. You're a bit more. Otherwise, when you're self-centered, then you don't, because you like, I'm the prize. Now walking. That one.
That phrase. I'm the prize. Unless you are Jesus, you are not the prize. Unless you are Jesus. Unless you are Jesus, you're not the prize. Yeah. No, please.
Yeah, so I think that you might be my prize. That's okay. No, listen. If I get married to my wife, if it's,
she's somewhere watching that. Intentionality is one thing.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, it's a tango. It's a dance. Like when you put in effort in self, it's then you can't pour out from where you don't have.
You can't pour from an empty cup.
So yes, you have to. When you take that interest, that means you learn what you like, what people you like or don't like, what things matter.
What things work for you?
Yes, exactly. Because there are people you date, and it's like they are going with it. And it's hard.
If you don't stand for some.
Yes,
It's anything.
because even as a guy, it's hard to lead them.
Yes.
Because you don't know.
You don't know which direction to take them, to lead them in, because you're not sure how would she react.
Yeah, you know, yeah. And others then miscommunicate. So there's a miscommunication where this vibe is giving you this, then when you do it, yes, because, you know, that, and even as guys, we need to, because you also find, again, the guys who think they are prizes also have the same
problem.
I know,
the guy knows for me,
I got the
one.
dollars, I got the word.
Yeah.
But the streets are biting. Yeah.
Let me tell you another red flag I have seen on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
Once a girl, like a guy shows interest,
Mm-hmm.
you have to cater to her bills. Rent if she's renting. Her transport,
You
like
become
you said,
a
when
fag.
she's
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Her transport when she's coming to see you. Data, it's like she was not buying data.
Her phone breaks. Her birthday comes the next 2 weeks.
Here's the thing. You've inherited all these problems. I think for that red flag stems from this. Guys, don't laugh. It's a major red flag.
It's good. It stays you, right?
It's good. It stays you, put it down. So that you guys might look at us like we are. No. I think the thing is, if first of all, I believe dating is supposed to be amongst adults, between adults. Okay? If you're not an adult and you're dating, what are you doing? You're supposed to be playing, having fun, breaking things. What? It's between adults. So if you're going to date, can you still be an adult? One of the things that bothers me, as you've said, you know, you inherit someone's bills. Like, for you,
were you living?
How about you living
you
before?
before me?
Yeah, like for you before me. What was it? Where did you live?
Actually, now in my expectations, and I'm looking for a guy, like down here, like number 5 years of money.
It's okay. The thing is this: it's okay to want a guy that has money. All right, but now, do you match the need for money?
I have needs. He has money.
So that's the thing I'm saying. The lack of effort. It stems at the lack of effort. So for you, the thing is, he has money and that's all I need. So for you, you're not going to put any effort for as long as the money is coming your way. What happens when it stops? A checkmate. Yeah? So the thing is, not like, be an adult about dating. You understand that the other person is a human being as well. They have needs, they have struggles, they have issues. The same way you do. But you're two adults. Meet in the middle as adults and deal with things like adults. Not just dump everything on someone. Like, for you, what we're planning to eat at night, you was asking me for supper. And then the thing is, also, it depends on the stage at which you. Yeah, if it's at the beginning, like, listen, why am I celebrating your birthday 1 month into knowing you? Now, okay, mine passed before I met you. Do you want to first reverse and do the? You get, like, come on.
You would celebrate your new girl 1 month.
We would celebrate it as the two of us, not this thing where you're going to invite all your friends, we dance together about something. No, I'm still getting to know you.
Yes.
I would like to know what you are like on your birthday. All right, because most of the times you're going to find, and I've seen this happen, where, you know, you meet, so guy meets his chick and, you know, he's saying yes to everything. That's how you get taken for a ride.
And then they dump you after that.
And they dump you after that. And you begin, oh, women are like this, women are like the other one.
You were never in the
You are never in the mix. Exactly.
You are chasing the chase.
Yeah. And then you find, like, guys like, no, women are like this, women, no. It's not the women, it is you. For you, you did not see the red flag that the person not being an adult about the relationship, and you just went for.
Just being a user.
That's the thing. And people who are users are not thinking like adults. Me, I still insist, be an adult about it. And people that are not adults, and this is both men and women, people that are not adults in relationships, it's don't waste the other person's time. You can waste yours. Just don't waste the other person's time. Let them be. They'll be fine. You'll also be fine. You'll find someone with money.
Too much time.
Too much time, people. Too much time. Taking on too much baggage. Then before you know it, you have nothing to give.
You have some more red flags you want to share?
Me, the most are done. For me, it's that thing. Work on yourself, and it's a journey.
Have you ever been a red flag in your past relationship?
I think so, definitely, man. Yeah, I was toxic. Yeah, it's okay. Toxic in a way, you know. Maybe there are certain things you would overlook. Maybe not an active listener per se, you know. I would say adult again. I was not.
You're not an adult
in that, you know. And that's especially, you know, early 20s, and vibes. Sometimes some people are serious, like you guys. But
the majority,
yeah, so
yeah,
I had to I think, and for me, as we are calling out red flags, and it's so easy to project.
Yeah,
it's so easy to point. Is most times you say red flag.
Yeah, so interesting.
Yes.
I think the thing is everyone is a red flag to someone else.
Yeah.
So no matter which way you look at it, you might say the person has all these red flags. It's okay. You are a red flag. You are a blaring red flag to somebody.
Yeah. And what are you doing about it? For me, for me, I think one of the things I really had to work on was being more in tune with emotions. Yeah, because grew up in a family where you had to go. You had to go.
No emotion.
You had to survive. Yeah. You never think it affects you because as a guy, you
feel like you're designed for that.
You maybe pitching in on family issues and all those things, but then it affects a side of you.
Yeah.
And as guys, you know, it's important to go for groups and talk about these things. You know, we over skip those things. But either have friends that have
people you can talk to.
Yes.
Have people you can talk to
learn some of these things. Yeah. There are certain things maybe our parents didn't do. Right.
Conversations we never had.
And we can never have comfortably because that's how we're raised. There's just no room for it. So for me, I just feel like I'm thankful for some of the friends I met later on, some of the people you dated, and even they remain friends. Please, they didn't remain best friends. Also, that thing is a problem. When you date and you give because an ex knows how to press.
When you break up,
they know how to press buttons. Yeah,
there's a thing called the power of the ex. They call the power of the ex.
On these streets,
that ex will return and
whenever I'm dating a babe and the ex is always
around,
roaming around, birthday, VDs, Josh.
Checking on
Muriferan. I ran because an ex, there is a certain connection that if you leave it open for too long, it's very hard to close it. Yeah. Yeah. I've had good friends who are ladies, but they are boundaries. Yeah. So that.
So, is it a red flag if my best friend is a guy, I'm not attracted to him, he's just my best friend? Or when a guy says, now we're speaking to the women, but a guy says, this is my best friend, she's a babe, like there's nothing, been friends for like 10 years, not attracted to each other, never been.
Now, the thing about that, the thing about that whole best friend is someone of the opposite gender is, now as guys, as a guy, you always know what the other guy wants.
Okay.
No, here's the thing.
They've had that conversation.
Men never.
You see, that's why they have the conversation. In my opinion,
they have the conversation because people say that you can't be.
I would say it's okay to have close friends or guys. For me, in my retrospect or I don't mind your friends or guys because even me, I have close friends who are ladies. Yeah, that's fine. But best friend is another level.
That's the thing. Best friend is a totally different level. Because best friend knows everything about my life. Okay, he knows my family. He can end me if he wants to. You get? I could end him if I wanted to. Now that's a very deep level. Okay, and the thing about I can go to him about my emotions when I break down the breakups I've had. I go sit down with Josh and we talk, and I can pour out that with no worry, no judgment. I also know there's no ill intention. Okay? It's very hard to pour out your emotions to someone of the opposite gender. And the thing about it is, the thing about distance, close distance, being close, physically close with someone over a longer period of time, that I think it's nature. Pheromones and things.
You're like, why are you bothering
You
with
just-
the dance?
You get
Yeah.
it reaches a point. For instance, if you have a female best friend and she comes to you with all the problems of this guy, you want to reach a point you're like, listen, don't you see me?
Mm-hmm. What's your
Do
problem?
I look like an animal?
Mm-hmm.
I've
I know
treated
what
you
you
right.
like.
Maybe you're not hard side.
It's hard to be,
Let me tell you, it's hard to be someone's best friend
and not their type.
and not that type. They just ignore. They
That.
kind of put that thing in a corner.
Yes.
And where I say that is, I've ever had a very close friend.
Best friend?
Oh, yeah, who was a babe, especially like around 20. We are still very close, but we had to intentionally. And when I say intentionally, is we even took some time.
Because emotions.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we had to have the conversation. And once we had that conversation, there are things we stopped doing. Because this is a person you talk to every day. Like every day. Guys, that bond becomes
It's
a problem.
strong. Yeah.
Because you will have a girlfriend or someone you're dating or a fiance. Even you've said these things. People are married, but
Someone is in the
yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there is, and the bonds are in the small things.
Mm.
Yeah. They know when you are not okay.
Yes.
Can read you across the room.
Are across the room.
Even
that
across the country where you're feeling bad and they just call and like,
that is
I thought about you.
That's the most, because then when you lose a person you're dating emotionally, whether you splash or what, as long as
The emotional connection
she's
is
taking
gone.
or he's taking that emotional thinking somewhere else, it's tight.
Yeah.
But when it's a guy, it's brothers. But you know, when I have a lady best friend, it's tricky, guys. It's so, even when you tell me this is my birthday, like for example, if I'm dating a babe and Danny was a best friend,
Deep down, he knows that when they fight,
if that guy gets a chance,
it's over. You get
He's
when
going to
they fight,
finish.
chances are high she's going to come and talk to me. Now I have information about.
Do you know, boss? If that guy go there, so I'm not saying
It's not
there are no
impossible.
guys.
It's not impossible.
Very impossible, because
It's
I've
just
also
that
met
it's
friends
very
with
hard.
that dynamic.
Yes.
Yeah. But you would find that either they really either knew themselves way before, like maybe they grew up together. But when that dynamic is tricky.
No, it's tricky. To be honest, even if you grew up
It's
with
possible.
someone, it's possible. I think it's very, very possible. It's just that there's a thing about emotions that has no filter. It doesn't know. It doesn't know. But I grew up with you. There's sometimes when the emotions just
Because you lean towards them and they lean
towards you.
Yeah.
And ideally, that's what companionship is about. That's what
That's it.
that's what dating is
I
made
guess
of.
that's why they
Can
say,
I lean on you and can you lean on me? And can we be on the same page?
So you'll find that you're dating someone, but there are certain things you never tell them. And that's the most dangerous, I would say, form of cheating to me. Like if I'm dating someone and
I can't tell them everything.
I delete some messages.
Yes.
That is my best friend. But before I go home,
You delete. Archive.
we are having a
archive
phone
chat.
call.
Archive the
phone
chat.
call,
Delete.
and I have to first.
There's network outside.
Yes. Yeah. So for me, I feel I would say, if I'm dating someone and I sense that, for me, that's one thing that I would have to have a conversation about, because emotional power outs or leakages, let me call them leakages, are the hardest to deal with.
Yes, because
you can deal with
they're usually small, usually
you can
tiny.
deal with
because you're going to get to the point of it's either him or me.
Those things.
Ultimatums. We are going to draw the lines. Yeah. So for me, that's and also on my side, that's something I had to work through. I have friends who are ladies who are close, but
you have to create.
Yes.
You have to create that boundary.
And those boundaries, because you see, you don't see it coming.
Yeah.
You don't.
You never see it
You
coming.
never see
You
it
never
coming.
see it coming.
Yeah, you don't see it coming. It just reaches some point, then it just spirals. And they're like, but why are you? Then that's when
Before
they
you know
say,
it, the morning after.
I didn't see it.
One thing later.
I don't know how it happened. Oh no, it was a mistake. I'm also not sure.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
For
It
me,
started.
the best friend thing, I have very close friends who are ladies, but their emotional things, I either talk to a brother or talk to God and work with my things. I'm like, God, you know my stuff? Let's go. Yeah, because
No, but as men, you guys need to find out.
No, the thing is,
it's true.
Yeah.
It's true. But you see, until now, imagine when a best friend tells you, this is a safe space. So now what safe space will remain for the person you're dating?
So men, when are you watching? For the men, find a safe space. Like,
Yeah.
it could be another guy though.
I no, I think this ideally it should be
Let your wife.
no, it should be another guy or sibling. Now I'll tell you, one of actually the people that I go to a lot besides him are my sisters. My sisters would end me if they wanted to. Please don't. But they know everything. They know all the dirt. I've cried to some of them. I've dumped all those things on them. And yeah, like for me, they're and I know they're not going to use it against me, and they're not going to go anywhere with it. So I think for guys, just find someone you can talk to. It's nice if it's a guy, because then you same apples and apples.
Mature.
Yeah, apples and apples. But then you could
Sure.
find someone else who you can speak to. But it's very scary for that other person to be a female that is
You're
a
not
friend that you're not related to, because things happen. Things happen, and
We have shaken the tables.
Get-
The dating streets have been shaken.
It's tricky.
I hope you listen to this with all honesty and like really introspecting and seeing where you have been a red flag, or the red flags that you are showing other people, or even the red flags that you're considering, and try to compromise, make them pink or maroon. They're red. Yeah. And in marriage, it won't change that. In marriage, it actually glares the more. So
Mhm.
drop other red flags that we may not have mentioned in the comments. Share this video with a potential suitor, someone that you see is coming, so they can maybe get the point that I'm
Where
not
are you
reciprocating
pointing?
because maybe I'm not interested.
Also in case, my counsel is ready, and I need to wear my counsel.
We start with yours, sir. Lead by example. Daniel.
We are coming. Imagine my
Daniel
counsel
was
is there.
a mighty man.
My
of
counsel is
Joshua
there.
came later. So
My counsel is ready. My counsel is ready. Just know. Yeah.
A, B, C, D. You see, we are even in the first 5. Nzendieri, F, I, G. It's lost on the list.
Oh, it might even be on the same day.
Yeah.
Can you add the budget?
Well,
See you in the comments, and I will see you next week. Remember, I am rooting for you.
Yeah.
Bye.
bye.
Where do we find you, wise men?
Sir.
You all start with alphabet. ABCD. All right, cool. You can find me on YouTube. The channel is CDJ Marketing. So conversations with Dan and Josh. We talk marketing, we talk business, we talk development, business-wise. But you can also find me on socials. I'm on Twitter, X now, and Instagram. I'm also on TikTok, but don't. Just don't. Okay, just don't. I go to TikTok to watch I post videos, not to. But you can find me on IG and on Twitter, X, at the Dan Odaka.
Yeah.
Is across the board. You can find me on somewhere on the streets of Kampala. I meet lots of people who are like, "Hey, you look familiar. You look familiar." And I'm like, "Do you watch YouTube?" Like, okay, cool. So you can meet me. If I'm not with someone else, say hi. If I'm with somebody else, just please. Just leave us.
Just wave it.
Just wave. I'll do this, and then
The bond has been
The
drawn.
draw.
yeah.
For us who are on the streets, it's just Zimbi Josh.
Instagram and X.
And on X don't. X
Just
is
find
for
you on
work. I just use it for work. X is weird. It's Instagram, TikTok. I don't have a TikTok. Yeah, I'm the admin for CDJ. So
Cool.
yeah, and LinkedIn.
Okay, for LinkedIn is just for professional. If you have job offers, if you have things like that, find me on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
If you want vibes, don't. I won't respond.
Yeah.